The recess is ended. Do I have a motion? The recess has ended. Do I have a motion to reconvene in open session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
The board is now in open session. Madam Clerk, would you please read the resolution certifying the closed session?
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the school board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the student matters?
In case numbers 2025-26/RE30, 2025-26/RE31, 2025-26/RE32, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the first personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/56-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/57-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/58-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/59-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/60-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
In case number 2025-26/61-HR, it is recommended that the superintendent's recommendation be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Aye.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Is there a motion regarding the next personnel matter?
Madam Chair, I move that the decision in case number 2025-26/02-PH be reversed.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker,
Aye.
Jennifer Darby,
Nay.
Dominique Chatters,
Aye.
Stephen Pronto,
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion is reversed. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the March 10th, 2026 School Board Business Meeting to order. Before we begin the meeting this evening, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the March 10th School Board Business Meeting and remind the audience that comments to this board may only be made from the podium during the public comment period. Comments from the audience are prohibited and are in violation of section number 18.2-415 of the Code of Virginia, disorderly conduct in public places, and School Board Policy 6141.1. I appreciate everyone's patience and understanding so that we can conduct the business meeting in an orderly fashion. We will now have an invocation by Mr. Paranto, followed by a flag salute led by Ms. Chatters.
Before tonight's invocation, we want to remember with a moment of silence an outstanding educator who passed away recently. We pause to remember Miss Kim Rose, a devoted educator who served the students of Chesterfield County Public Schools for more than 41 years. Throughout her career, she shared her love of music and learning with countless students at schools, including Chalkley Elementary School, Manchester Middle School, and most recently, Providence Middle School, where she taught chorus for the past 4 years. Miss Rose retired on January 31st, 2026, after a lifetime of service to children, families, and colleagues. Just days later, on February 9th, she passed. Her passion for music, her dedication to her students, and the joy she brought to the classroom will continue to resonate in the lives of the many students she taught and inspired. Would you please join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with gratitude and humility. As we begin this meeting, we thank you for the opportunity to serve our community, our families, and especially the students entrusted to our care. Lord, we ask for your wisdom as we discuss the important matters before us. Your word reminds me in James 1:5 that if anyone lacks wisdom, we should ask you, and you give it generously. We ask that you guide our thoughts, our conversations, and our decisions so that they reflect fairness, integrity, and a genuine desire to do what is right. Bless the work of education in our schools. Help us to support teachers as they guide young minds, encouraging students as they grow in knowledge and character, and strengthen families as partners in learning. May our schools be places where truth is pursued, potential is developed, and every child is valued. Father, we also ask that you guide us as we carry out responsibilities under the law. Help us to act with justice, patience, and humility. May we listen respectfully to one another, seek understanding, and make decisions that serve the long-term good of our students and our community. Grant us clarity where issues are complex, unity where there may be disagreement, and courage to lead with both conviction and compassion. Above all, may our actions reflect the principles of wisdom, justice, and service that honor you and the benefit that we serve. I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The consent agenda includes agenda adoption, approval of the minutes, February 9th, 2026 Budget Town Hall, February 10th, 2026 Budget Work Session, February 10th, 2026 Business Meeting, February 18, 2026 Budget Work Session, February 24, 2026 Special Meeting, memo number 022-26, recommended personnel actions, memo number 23-26, FY 2026 acceptance of new grants, memo number 024-26, acceptance of donations, resolution recognizing March 2026 as Equity and Education Month, Memo number 2025-26, VSBA Business Honor Roll. Are there any additions or corrections to the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, there are no additions or corrections to the consent agenda.
Are there any requests from a school board member to separate an item from the consent agenda for discussion and individual action? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, would you please call roll on the motion?
Ann Coker.
Aye.
Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. Mr. Smith, would you please announce our new administrators?
If I could ask Shelley Davis, Summer Davis, and Lindsay Kistner to come forward at this time. Madam Chair, board members, with your action this evening, you've made the following appointments. Shelley Davis was approved as the principal, Clarilla Elementary, effective July 1. She currently serves as the assistant principal at Ecoff Elementary School. Summer Davis was approved as the principal, Evergreen Elementary School, effective July 1, 2026. She currently serves as the assistant principal at Evergreen Elementary School. And Lindsay Kistner was approved as the principal at Scott Elementary School, effective July 1, 2026. She currently serves as the assistant principal at Elizabeth Scott Elementary. Please join me in congratulating these principals.
Next, we have awards and recognitions. For our first award and recognition, I'd like to call up Ms. Coffey and Mr. Hurd to present.
Good evening, Madam Chair Hudgens, members of the board, and Dr. Murray. We'd like to begin by thanking you for your continued support of our fine and performing arts programs throughout Chesterfield County Public Schools, and for taking time during this important month to celebrate the tremendous talents of all of our students.
Good evening. This evening, we'll be sharing multiple opportunities for the Chesterfield community to engage in the arts during the month of March, which is nationally recognized as Youth Art Month, Music in Our Schools Month, and Theater in Our Schools Month, as well as recognize student success in the arts. And later, we'll hear a special performance from the Matoka High School chorus under the direction of Brad Berkeley.
Thanks, Ms. Coffey. Throughout the winter and spring, there are a variety of exciting opportunities to see the outcome of visual art learning experiences across our school division. The CCBS Mini Museum will be on display at Chesterfield Town Center through April 19th, featuring thousands of miniature tiny artworks created by K through 12 students. On March 23rd, every Chesterfield County Public Library branch, including the Baxter Perkinson for Art and Education, will feature a special art exhibition from each of our elementary schools for our very fourth and annual CCPS Arts Fest. In addition, student work from our virtual art and music programs will be posted on a special online gallery on our division's website. Our CCPS Secondary Fine and Performing Arts Showcase will take place April 11th and 12th at Clover Hill High School, featuring art exhibitions from each of our middle school and high schools, as well as a variety of performing arts events, and we hope to see everyone there. So now I'd like to take this opportunity during this meeting tonight to recognize the winners of our annual Virginia School Board Association Art Contest. One recipient from elementary, middle, and high school were selected from across our school division for their exceptional artwork to represent Chesterfield County Public Schools during the VSBA Spring Forum, an event that brings together school board members and superintendents from across the South Side region of Virginia. Students, please join us on stage when your name is announced to be recognized for this amazing achievement. Our 2026 VSBA Elementary Award recipient is London Dill from Marguerite Christian Elementary School. London. Our 2026 VSBA Middle School Award recipient is Niles Cardona Martinez of Salem Church Middle School. And our high school recipient, Cindy Men of Cosby High School, couldn't make it tonight, but we have her artwork up here with everyone else. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations on this big accomplishment.
Congratulations on your award. Can you show us, is your artwork over here? Can you show us which one is yours? You go first, London. That is awesome. So pretty. What about you? The birch trees. Beautiful. Wonderful work. Art is so important as part of our life. We see it everywhere we go, and so proud of you both for the beautiful artwork that you have created. Can you tell me what inspires you when you are drawing or painting or whatever it is that you enjoy most?
Emotions, definitely. I just draw what feels right.
That's wonderful. What about you, Lyndon?
I draw just like how I feel too.
How you feel? Because emotions bring out creativity, right? So thank you so much for brightening our day with your beautiful artwork. Thank you. Give them another round of applause. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Hurd. And in just a moment, we're going to hear from the Matoka High School Choir under the direction of Brad Berkeley. I would like to thank these talented students that are about to sing and their teacher for officially kicking off the celebration of music, dance, and theater in our schools month. The impact of the performing arts lasts a lifetime. Every day across Chesterfield County, our music, dance, and theater educators provide students with meaningful, life-changing experience. Our district hosts approximately 300 performances each year. This fall, students participated in marching band night and numerous middle and high school choral and orchestral events. In November, students were selected for all-state ensembles at the VMEA conference, and many of our teachers presented sessions for their colleagues. Winter months brought outstanding K-12 concerts and theatrical productions. Now, spring assessments for band, guitar, orchestra, and choral groups are underway, along with our competitive show choir season. We are also looking forward to April 11th and 12th, and we will showcase all our all-county middle school bands, jazz bands, and all-county guitar ensembles. A detailed schedule for those events will be in the packet we shared with you this evening. With so many performances planned for April and May, I encourage everyone to visit individual school websites for event information. At this time, our board members are seated, and the superintendent, we hope you enjoy this very special performance by Matoka High School.
Hi everyone, I'm Bailey and I'm a senior in High Impact Matoka Show Choir. We're very excited to be here tonight and even more excited to perform for you Let There Be Peace on Earth. This song is very special to us. It talks about how we can be peacemakers in our world and in our classrooms and in our homes. So we discussed in class ways that we can do this. Some of the things that were talked about were assuming the best and seeing the best in people, having faith in people, treating others as you would want to be treated, valuing others above yourself, addressing conflict with love and kindness, apologizing when you make a mistake, and always listening to each other without judgment or ignorance of anybody's situation. We as students want to challenge each other and challenge you as our guests tonight to provide peace in your homes and furthermore in the world. Find ways to share the light and the good that we all have inside of us. Thank you and enjoy Let There Be Peace on Earth. With
We don't want you to go that fast. You can't perform that well and then run off the stage. Y'all are high school students. Yes. No way. That sound was absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. They are collecting donations, okay? But seriously, you just put on a concert that I would pay to go to. And wouldn't even think twice about it. Fantastic. And I can see why you are outstanding music students. And you make Matoaca District proud, but more importantly, you make Chesterfield County Schools proud. When we put forth this effort, right, not just in the classroom, on the stage, on the field, in academia, competition, whatever it might be, it is the best that we have to offer. And right now, you, each and every one of you, are the best that we have to offer. So you should give yourselves a round of applause. And I don't want to embarrass you. Who's the bass over here? That was you? The floor shook. The floor shook. And then who was our soprano over here just putting the roof off the top? Don't be shy. Outstanding job. Oh, everyone did great. Everyone did great, but outstanding job. Thank you so very much for coming here tonight out of your time just to showcase the talent that we have. And kudos. It takes a lot from you guys, but your director here puts a lot of time in as well to make sure that, one, you sound good, everyone looks good, right? But more importantly, you sung as one, right? Not as individual people. You sung as one, and we all felt that. So congratulations, Matoaca High School. Thank you. Absolutely. So as you make your way out, I do have a little something for you, so I do apologize. The line's going to back up real quick. Great job, thank you. Outstanding job, thank you. Congratulations, great job, thank you. Great job, thank you very much. Great job. Congratulations. Outstanding job. Great job, thank you very much. Thank you, y'all did a great job. Great job, thank you. Great job.
Contain inspiration and no video.
Fantastic. I see why you won awards. Great job. I appreciate your patience.
Good job.
Congratulations, thank you. Congratulations.
Good job, y'all. Good job, gals.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all to our wonderful performers who now have left and can't hear that, but that was incredible. I told them I could have used another song, frankly. But we appreciate our performers and artists who help us celebrate this evening. It's always a great time when we can celebrate our talented students. So board members, in recognition of Youth Art and Music in our Schools Month, we have two resolutions before us this evening. Ms. Coffey and Mr. Hurd, please join me in front of the dais for the reading and presentation. Madam Clerk, would you please read the resolutions?
Recognizing March 2026 as Youth Art Month, whereas art education contributes powerful educational benefits to all elementary and secondary students, including the following: Art education develops critical and creative problem-solving skills. Art education teaches design thinking and reinforces the concept of craftsmanship. Art education teaches sensitivity to beauty, order, and other expressive qualities. Art education gives students a deeper understanding of cultures, values, and beliefs. Art education reinforces and brings to life what students learn in other subjects. And art education uses student learning in art production, art history, art criticism, and aesthetics to create new meaning and learning for each student. And whereas our national leaders have acknowledged the necessity of including art experiences in each student's education. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the members of the Chesterfield County School Board officially recognize March as Youth Art Month, endorse the observance of Youth Art Month, and encourage the support of quality school art programs for our children and youth. Recognizing March 2026 as Music in Our Schools Month. Whereas the study of music helps young people improve their skills in listening, reading, self-expression, and creativity. And whereas music education in the schools includes a broad range of music and active musical experiences. And whereas music and the other arts significantly enhance the morale and quality of the school environment. And whereas public schools prepare children for a productive role in society. And whereas the National Association for Music Education has designated March as Music in Our Schools Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Chesterfield County School Board endorses the observance of Music in Our Schools Month as an opportunity to support the purposes and practices of music education and encourages teachers, parents, students, and all citizens to participate. The Chesterfield County School Board rededicates itself to the maintenance of a music education program that positively influences each child placed in its care.
Board members, you've heard the two resolutions before us. May I have a motion to adopt the resolution as read?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Board members, is there any discussion?
Madam Chair. There's a lot of whereases in what you just heard. But all that is to say, you're awesome. The program is awesome. It's thriving. It's doing well. We're producing groups of kids and individuals who are not only recognized in the Commonwealth, but across the nation. And so what great pride and privilege it is to claim Chesterfield County Public Schools as home, especially when it comes to the music and arts. Sometimes we tend to, not all people, but some people, the athletics get a lot of the limelight, and rightfully so, very talented individuals. But just as talented are kids who are on stage, who are in band, who are in art, show choir, the list goes on and on. And so I greatly appreciate your passion, not only for art and for music, but for the kids. Because without your passion and leading by example, we wouldn't have what we have today. And so there's a kudos to both of you. Thank you very much for what you do. I'll let you off the hook in just a moment, but if you would be so kind, I would like to know, what is your passion? What does it drive you about art and about music?
So I was an art student for a very long time, and art is what showed me who I was when I was in school. And it taught me how to be myself and how to learn, and it made me much more successful. So I know how that feels, I know how that goes, and I'm just honored to be a small part of that in anybody's life.
Thank you, Mr. Hurd. So I am a Chesterfield product, so music is so important to me. I went here to Salem Elementary School and Salem Middle School and Byrd High School, and I have been in the arts my entire life. It's been, like Jimmy said, Mr. Hurd said, it's part of my life and where I always belonged. I was band and trumpet. I went to Byrd High School. I see Miss Blanton here. And so music is everything. I went to college, and the teamwork and the building and the sense of community and then the service to give back. So my joy every day is to walk in a classroom, see amazing educators giving back to their kids like the teachers did me here in Chesterfield. So I'm thankful to be here.
Outstanding. We don't hand out resolutions very often. So I hope you understand, this is our way as a board to recognize not only you, but your departments and the contributions that they make to our students. So on behalf of the Chesterfield County School Board, thank you so very much for what you do.
Okay, there has been a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? No, okay. The resolutions have been adopted. Thank you again to all of our performers and to Ms. Coffey and Mr. Hurd. For our next awards and recognition, I would like to call up Mr. Smith to present.
If I could ask Gloria Zhang to come forward this time. Gloria Zhang buzzed in as this year's top speller during the district-wide spelling bee on January 20th. The Midlothian Middle 8th grader won the bee after 12 rounds by correctly spelling patriarchs and will represent Chesterfield County Public Schools at the regional spelling bee. Please join me in congratulating Gloria.
Congratulations, you're up here all by yourself. That's quite a feat. I'm always curious, what was the word? Maybe the word that, made you win.
Patriarchs.
Okay, all right, just spell it for us.
Patriarchs.
All right, woo! Here's a little place for you to put all your awards. How did you learn all of your spelling? How did it come from reading? Did it come from just talk to me about that. How are you good at this?
I absolutely love reading, so a lot of the words on the list were from books that I previously read, and my English teachers have also played a really large role in this because they provided me with really good resources to study with.
Okay, as a former English teacher, that was the right answer. Oh my gosh, woo! Well done, congratulations, and keep reading. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much, guys. One more round of applause. Congrats, that's awesome.
Next up, I've got to ask our Byrd High School engineering representatives to come forward.
My whole admin team should come on up.
Yeah. Surprise. Tonight, we want to celebrate Byrd High School's engineering team. Byrd Engineering once again hosted a STEAM challenge during Engineering Week. This annual event continues to provide an engaging, hands-on learning experience that promotes innovation, creativity, and collaboration among our students. Please join me in congratulating this team.
So, okay, it's working. So I know she's not here, but if she was here, I would ask her the question, so one of you has to answer it, okay? So what is the best part about the engineering program at Byrd?
Good evening, everyone. I think one of the best parts about our program is that the students are held to a high standard, extremely high standard, but they also have the freedom and the leeway to be expressive and to experience the discovery, the ability to create and just reach certain goals by way of academics and by way of instruction and facilitation, but also encouragement on the part of the teachers. So we're guiding them. It's been more the guide on the side, not the sage on the stage.
One of the things that she would probably mention too if she was here is that they have an opportunity to give back to our elementary schools. And so some of our engineering students go to our elementary schools and teach a lesson and help them hands-on with engineering to spark that curiosity and to spark the learning so our younger people get an introduction to what that's all about. And I've heard they had some really good lesson plans. So future teachers in the making probably here at Byrd as well. So one more hand for the Byrd engineering team.
If I could ask Brian Sheets to come forward this time. Yeah. Brian stops by every month just for, yeah. Standing invitation. Congratulations to Brian Sheets and his turf management classes at Thomasdale High School for winning another huge award. Each year, the Sports Field Management Association presents its prestigious awards to members who manage sporting grounds at 3 levels: professional, collegiate, and K-12 schools and parks. Only 11 sites were honored in 2025, providing quality, safe playing surfaces. The stadium field at Thomasdale High School was named the nation's top sporting grounds in the schools parks category. Please join me in congratulating Brian Sheets and Thomasdale Turf Program.
So proud of all that you have done for Thomasdale and for, let me just tell you, the turf management landscaping class is sought after by all students at Thomasdale. There's a long waiting list. People want to be in your class because not only are you teaching them great skills, but you are an amazing teacher. So thank you for all that you have done for Thomasdale, and tell us more about the award and all the wonderful things you're doing at Thomasdale.
Well, thank you guys. The biggest thing with our award that we won is how do we put the best playing surface for our student athletes on a budget? And as you guys all know, within a school system, we have to really work our budget. So a lot of it's just management skills on how we actually go about our nutrient management plans. And the kids have really caught on to that. So we're doing actually the CFIT too. So we've got one more. So if anybody's out there that you want to sign up for the last CFIT, do that, because we're doing landscape design on that. And our kids have come in and helped with that. And the kids have really taken, the bull by the horns, because they've bought into what we do. Because creating a safe playing surface isn't just for the athletes. Our students have bought into the art behind painting the fields and making a field aesthetically pleasing. Because, when you think of it, the billion-dollar industry that sports is now. If you guys watch the Super Bowl, who watched the Super Bowl? All right, so here's something really interesting. The World Cup is coming, right? The World Cup will be 14 times the viewership of the Super Bowl. So when we are putting kids into the industry that is sought after like that, we're giving them career and college ready. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to set up kids so when they walk across the stage in May, they're ready to go career or college, and they have a path chosen for them.
And I'm going to do one more plug. So come to Thomasdale, look at the field. You'll also see the new CCPS logo on the Thomasdale field. So, and his class did that as well. Thank you, Brian.
Next up, I've got to ask our representatives from Meadowbrook High School for the Monarch Market to come forward at this time. DECA named the Monarch Market the student-run school store at Meadowbrook High School an outstanding school-based enterprise for 25-26. Across the country, only 989 school-based enterprises earned this gold level certification, and fewer than that achieved a perfect score, as did the Monarch Market. To earn DECA's highest level of certification, Meadowbrook seniors Chandler Randolph and Jennifer Nunez developed a comprehensive 50-page business manual detailing standard operating procedures for the market. Please join me in congratulating these students.
So it's not often I get to recognize both my high schools in the same meeting, so this is awesome. But I always see you ladies. Like, how many times are we winning? Like, we're consistently winning, right? We're consistently making the page, we're consistently doing all the things, but a 50-page manual? Really? Okay, so I'm gonna hold this, and y'all gonna tell me, how did y'all come up with that, the 50-page manual?
Well, when writing the manual, it all came from experience that we knew running the market, and then we worked together, just putting all that information together and using our ideas and just working together to piece it together.
I think that working with a lot of my classmates, especially like our senior class as a whole, we get to interact with our classmates as well as fellow students, so it's way more of a comfortable experience, as well as just like, those are our customer bases. We get to understand who our target demographic is. So it's nice to learn things that will help us with our future as well as just in our everyday life.
And then can you tell them the kind of items that we have in the Meadowbrook Market?
So at the market right now, we have mostly school spirit items, sweatshirts, t-shirts. We're getting ready to put stadium blankets in. We have hats, we have hoodies. What else? We have beanies. What else? What is it? Oh, the keychain. The one thing the kids go crazy over, and it's like a $2 item, and it's like a little lion, and it just hooks on their backpack. And we sell out of those more than anything else. It's like crazy. And so, and then right now we have business partners that are working with us that are alumni of Meadowbrook, and they're like wanting us to get alumni wear, so that is kind of on the agenda too. So right now it's more of a spirit wear to try to get our community back behind us, and you know, we did very well this fall at football season. They had an outstanding day within 2 hours at lunchtime of like a $700 day. That was like a record day for us. So that was on Valentine's Day, or the day before, I guess that Friday. So that was like, it was crazy that day, but it went very well.
And so what's next? After DECA, what's next?
Our hope for what's next is to pass on everything we've learned with the market to the younger generations so they can keep on flourishing with the market for years to come.
As well as showing a lot of school pride and uplifting our Meadowbrook reputation.
Right. I'll put in one plug. What's next for them? Can you guys hear me, or you want me to? What's next for them is they're getting ready to go to Atlanta, Georgia to compete in the international DECA competition and present the market at the end of April. So that's our next stop. And then we have three other students too.
So if you need any Meadowbrook gear, please don't buy it from CVS or Walgreens. Please stop by the Meadowbrook Market and get your customized, authorized t-shirt and paraphernalia. Thank you so much. Let's give them another hand.
If I could ask Joyce Jackson to come forward this time. Congratulations to Joyce Jackson for being appointed Virginia State Advocate for Adult Education Fellow. She is one of just 52 advocates chosen for 2026, one from every U.S. state, District of Columbia, and Kenya. Jackson is the Adult ESL Support Specialist in the Adult Continuing Education Office of Chesterfield County Public Schools. Please join me in congratulating Joyce Jackson.
So So we appreciate your work here in Chesterfield County in the adult ESL continuing education. That is such important work, and I know you serve many of our students here locally, the adults who can have their entire lives changed because of the work that you are doing. But I want to repeat back, one of the words that you said is that this is an honor, which is why you're standing here in front of us, but you also said it's a meaningful responsibility, and then it looks like you're going to have to do a lot of advocating and hard work. So what is it that is motivating you to do extra work, hard work, on top of all that you are already doing right now?
Well, I would say because it truly is an honor and it's a blessing to be able to serve. I wake up every morning thinking about how I can do that. And then one of our theme for this year for our program is Moments of Momentum, the power of small wins. So I see, and my staff sees the small wins every single day when a student masters a skill. And looking at that, we know that small wins wind up being big opportunities. And not just for the student, not for their family, but for the entire community. So that's why I do it.
Well, thank you for all you do. Congratulations.
If I could ask our friends from the Chesterfield Food Bank to come forward this time. The Chesterfield Food Bank and Outreach Center has been an unwavering and proactive partner in addressing food insecurity across our community. Through establishing and maintaining pantry closets in 21 schools, expanding year-round and summer feeding efforts, mobilizing their reach throughout neighborhood distributions, providing responsive support during times of crises, the Chesterfield Food Bank works closely with Chesterfield County Public Schools to ensure our families receive help when they need it most. Please join me in congratulating and thanking the Chesterfield County Food Bank.
Thank you all so much for the work you all do and the many workers behind you that you represent. You are in a lot of schools doing really important work because we know that our students can't learn if they are hungry, and we know that the outreach that you have through those sites goes far beyond just the students. It impacts the family and the community beyond. And so we are so grateful for the partnership you have and the hard work that you are putting in. If you are willing, I'll pass the mic and you can share a story that inspires you to continue doing the work that you're doing.
Well, I have 4 kids of my own, and I know that they like to eat. So it's very nice to be able to fight food insecurities for the children that's in our county. So it's just a blessing to be able to help them out.
Thank you again for this honor. I just say that, like you said, when you're hungry, you can't think. And that is our purpose. We provide food in these schools every week just so the children don't go hungry and even the families can take meals home. So it's all about fighting power and encouraging everyone.
I'd say one thing that really encouraged me with doing this is just seeing the children in my own community come home and get off the bus and they have the food that we pack. So I know that it's meaningful to them, not just at school, but at home as well.
And I'd like to thank all of y'all. Our team works so hard to make this work, and we couldn't be more blessed that you guys work with us to do what we do, and we're honored that you trust us with the kids and their hunger needs and allowing us to grow. And hopefully in the next year or so, we'll be in many more schools.
Next up, if I could ask our REB principals to come forward at this time. The REB Awards for Distinguished Educational Leadership honor Central Virginia principals who go beyond day-to-day demands to create an exceptional educational environment. One principal from each local school system, Chesterfield, Henrico, Hanover, and Richmond, is honored annually, with each winner receiving a $10,000 grant for individual use and an additional $20,000 for school projects. The Community Foundation for a Greater Richmond and the REB Foundation oversee these awards. Nominations come from members of the school community and the general public. Chester County Public School principals who are finalists for this year's awards are Elizabeth Baber, principal of Matoka High School, Adrian Blanton, principal at Byrd High School, Rovez Ingram, principal at Margaret Christian Elementary School, Melanie Jasenkowitz, principal at Matoka Elementary School, Deborah McGonigal, principal of Watkins Elementary, Kristen Sadie, principal at Henning Elementary, and Susan Wilson, principal of Curtis Elementary School. Ms. Shatters?
So let's first give it up for our finalists for the REB, because that is a tough award. And if I can, I know this is going to take a little bit of time, but if you can just say what your project was really quickly, please.
Well, it's only the two finalists that had the project, so I'm going to hand it to them.
Hi, I'm Adrienne, principal at Byrd High School, and our project is Library Reimagined, to create a space for our kids, teachers, and staff to have a place where I tell them every day to work hard, play hard, and take care of each other. So a place they can go and relax and enjoy each other and do some cool educational projects. I'm excited. This is a lot of fun for our Skyhawks to think about reimagining a library created in 1978. So we're excited.
Mine was called Belonging by Design, and it was a three-part project to enhance our house system for our students, create some parent workshops to help our families understand their part in the learning experience, and then teacher-chosen professional development that they would bring back and share with their colleagues.
Fantastic projects. Those are our two finalists, and if I can get a drum roll, please. And our REB winner is Miss Adrienne Blanton from LC Byrd High School.
Just in case, I see that. Nobody knew. So as a recipient, or as the winner, she had received a donation from the Chesterfield Education Foundation for her project. Is that correct? And so did Susan for her project as well. So we are congratulating them both on future projects. We can't wait to see what you do and what the final product looks like. So I want to say thank you to all of our,
I wanted to say thank you, Elke. I wanted to say thank you to all of our finalists and for everyone who submitted. You guys have great ideas, and I can't wait to see them turn into fruition. So we want before and after pictures for both. Okay, and make sure you invite us to the grand opening of the new Imagine Library and to a workshop or two, please. Let's give it up for one more time.
Go Skyhawks!
You're all scattered. I didn't see everybody. Good evening. I'm here. Good evening, Madam Chair and school board members. I'm here to present the award from Transportation for our Drivers of the Month. So there are many drivers that we could recognize this past month, but each transportation area manager had the tough decision of selecting a single bus driver who exemplified excellence and dedication to represent their area. It is my pleasure to present our February 2026 Drivers of the Month that are being recognized for outstanding driver performance. As I call your name, can you please come forward? Tanisha Manfry with Area 1, drives bus 892. She has 2 years and 9 months of dedicated service. Tanisha's manager shared that she has been a valuable asset to the Area 1 team. She works diligently with schools and students to foster a positive and a supportive environment. Tanisha always assists with transporting students for the 21st century after-school program each evening, helping ensure that all students complete their day safely. Tabitha Taylor with Area 2, bus 731 has 1 year and 11 months of dedicated service. Tabitha is always there to help her students and her coworkers. She is a team player that fills in when her peers are absent on elementary routes and does so with a big smile. We have Bonnie Yates with Area 3, bus 881, 21 years, 7 months of dedicated service.
Man, good job. 21 years.
Bonnie says she loves working with the students. Bonnie's manager said she is quick to jump in and help with anything that is needed. Bonnie also drives one of our EV buses and has done a great job working through the nuances, so much so that she is the driver that we choose to showcase and provide information about our EV buses at the Chesterfield Earth Day Festival. Bonnie is a great asset to transportation and an outstanding representative of CCPS. We have Eric Bender, Area 4, bus 478, with 3 months of service. I always get excited when our new drivers are selected as Drivers of the Month. Shows how much our hard work is paying off. Since Eric has joined Team Transportation, he has been very helpful. He has forged great relationships with his students and schools and is always willing to assist with anything that is needed. And representing Derek McDonald for Area 5, who has 1 year and 1 month of service, is Scott Howell. He is our Area 5 Assistant Manager. Derek says he enjoys interacting with people and being part of a team that treats people with respect. He enjoys helping his coworkers and says it feels great paying it forward. Please join me in a round of applause for our February 2026 Drivers of the Month.
We have the distinct honor of recognizing each of you this evening because of what you contribute, but how you contribute it. Absolutely stellar work from 3 months to we're just going to say that you're seasoned and we love to have you here. But the reality is you wouldn't be here right now if you didn't love what you do, in my opinion, right? You are the representation of Chesterfield County Public Schools because you're the first our kids see in the morning and you're the last they see when they get off the bus. And more importantly than that, you provide safe transportation, regardless of the weather, regardless of what's going on in the world or the chaos that might be going on sometimes inside the bus. You get the kids where they need to be and you do it safely. And so as a parent with 3 children who ride our buses, thank you so very much for what you do. And I know that there are decades of stories that you could tell up here, but the question I have, if you'd like to answer, what is your favorite part about being a bus driver?
Well, I'm speaking on behalf of Derek tonight. He couldn't join us, but he was honored for the award. He's a great guy. He always is lending helping hand anywhere he can. He always makes a point to make sure that the office is well staffed with anything we have project-wise.
The kids make me laugh like every day. They're hilarious.
I love trying to interact with them. My favorite thing is when I get a route, if nobody's speaking, I usually set a goal to try to get everyone speaking. And last year with Cosby, by the end of the school year, students that weren't speaking at the beginning were getting off and saying good morning or good evening and have a nice day. So I always try to greet everybody.
I would say my favorite thing would be just driving the bus with the kids and just, interacting with them, and hopefully, like a role model for them.
My favorite thing is watching them grow. I've had students that I had in elementary school when I first started driving that are in middle school now, and they run up on my bus and they say, "Hey, Misty, we miss you." That is my favorite part. So yes.
That's how you know you're making the impact, right? Absolutely. And you all are making impact. So thank you so very much for being the best of the best that we have to offer as far as our school bus drivers are concerned. So again, congratulations. Great job. Congratulations.
Evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Murray, Mr. Roberts. Thank you as always for the opportunity to recognize some of our outstanding food nutrition services team members. Last week, we celebrated National School Breakfast Week, a time to recognize how important a healthy breakfast is for our students. Research consistently shows that students who eat breakfast are more focused, have better attendance, and perform better in the classroom. This school year alone, our amazing team has already served more than 2 million breakfasts to hungry students. Each one represents a student starting their day nourished and ready to learn. I'd like to take a moment also to recognize Dr. Craig Reed, our 2025-26 school breakfast champion, for his support of our school breakfast program at Meadowbrook High School, with over 41,000 breakfasts served so far this year, as well as thank Dr. Murray and Ms. Chatters for joining me to recognize Dr. Reed last week. Our team would not be successful in our mission to feed our students without the continued support of our school board and our leadership team. Our two honorees this evening, one was unable to join us this evening, and that is Jeanette Ritter. Ms. Ritter is our cafeteria manager at Thomasdale High School, and she's been with us for 20 years. She says, "I like my job because it is fast-paced environment, which makes the days go by quickly. I like the fact that I get to build lasting positive relationships with my staff and students." Our second honoree this evening is Teresa Mercado. Ms. Mercado is the Food Services Purchasing Coordinator, and she's been with us for 3 years. The way that I explain Ms. Mercado's job to people is she makes sure that we have groceries. So it is an incredibly vital job. And she has a lot of harebrained schemes thrown at her by her director. So I appreciate her always executing those. The best part of my job is working with an amazing group of people, Ms. Mercado says. I also enjoy building strong relationships with our suppliers and strategizing to secure the right products at the best value. Knowing that the work I do plays a small part in feeding our students is very fulfilling. Thank you.
Round of applause. Congratulations, and thank you, because you are the support for all of the staff within our schools so that they can fuel our children, so that they can learn. So thank you for everything that you do in procuring all the food for CCPS. So what got you in this world?
I fell into it, as most people do with careers. I never expected to be here. I'm from California. Don't just keep your comments to yourself. I moved here in 2007 without a job, no place to live. It was a big life change. And the very first job I was offered, I took, and that was actually at the distribution level for a company that distributes food to K-12, to schools all over the East Coast. And so I fell into it. And when that job ended, I thought, you know what? I bet you I'd be pretty good at the school level since I've been working with them forever. and Chesterfield was kind enough to hire me. And here I am, and I'm really enjoying it. And yes, my director does hand me some harebrained schemes that I have to try to come up with a way to make happen. But we do, and I work with a great team. I don't do anything by myself. And that's probably the best part about my job is my team.
Another round of applause. Thank you, and congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. Next, we have public comment. For this meeting, citizens were given the option of submitting their comments online or in person. Comments submitted via the online form were sent to the board prior to the start of tonight's meeting, posted to the board doc site, and will be included in full as an addendum to the meeting minutes. In-person comments will be summarized by the board clerk and included in the official meeting minutes. Documents submitted along with in-person comments will, upon request, be distributed to the board but not included as part of the board's official minutes. Madam Clerk, would you please announce this evening's in-person speakers?
Madam Chair, we have 6 speakers this evening. They are Rob Hamill, Jacob York, Tawana Gray, Jared Ingberg, Wendy Little, and Micah Hadley. Each speaker will have 4 minutes to address the board. There's a timer set up on top of the podium that will turn green when you begin speaking, yellow when you have 30 seconds remaining, and red when your time has expired. As a reminder, no personal belongings other than a cell phone and speaker notes are allowed at the podium. Please have your materials organized in a manner that as you arrive at the podium, you are prepared to start speaking. Please note that comments equivalent to campaigning for any public office are in violation of School Board Policy 1110 and are prohibited. May we have Rob Hamill.
Good evening, school board members, colleagues, and friends. My name is Rob Hamill, and I am the president of your Chesterfield Education Association. A lot has happened in the last month. CEA has seen a surge in membership, with new members joining almost every day. In my site visits, folks have been excited about the opportunities and benefits our union provides. And we've seen some of the best attendance at our representative council meetings that we've seen in years. We'll be sending one of our largest delegations in years to represent Chesterfield at the statewide representative assembly in April. I'm proud to say that through the concerted efforts of our members and officers, CEA is growing. The VEA government relations team has been busy at the General Assembly in the last month. We've supported dozens of bills to provide resources and funding to public education. Bills ending data center tax abatements are still on the table, and we're hoping to bring in significant funding for our public schools through these corporate taxes. We've seen projections from the group Good Jobs VA showing that Chesterfield could gain as much as $10 million annually in revenue from our data centers, and that figure is only projected to rise in the future. There's also significant support in both houses of the General Assembly for a collective bargaining bill for public employees. And if one passes, we could be authorized to begin our new bargaining process on July 1st, 2028. With that in mind, I would like to talk for a moment about what collective bargaining is and what it is not, and I'd like to be very clear about our intentions and our limitations. 2 things we do not intend to do with our collective bargaining rights are to raise taxes or bankrupt the county. As far as taxes, we simply do not have the authority to levy taxes. The only people with that power in Virginia right now are in the General Assembly. We all have to make decisions based on their funding formulas and whatever money they choose to allocate to us. We have no intention of making ludicrous, impossible demands that would sap resources from vital programs and services. We have to bargain with the resources that are in our budget. To do anything else than that, to ask for things which are impossible, would damage our credibility. We couldn't bargain in good faith that way. And that's not the way VEA bargains. Collective bargaining has already come to several counties in Virginia, and they're all working just fine. In fact, many key issues that our colleagues bargained for in other parts of the state did not cost their districts anything at all. In Arlington, staff members won the right to speak their first language when they're at work, even if that language is not English. So now staff may use the language that feels most comfortable to them when they're in the break room or the parking lot without fear of reprisal. That made a big difference to a lot of folks in Arlington. And how much did it cost the district? $0. In Montgomery County, which is about the same size in square miles as Chesterfield, itinerant teachers won the right to return to a home office or a third location in between service visits, rather than driving to a school building. In a district that covers such a large area, this change in policy made the teachers' days much easier and probably saved the district money in mileage reimbursement. Some issues that have come up in our discussions at CEA that would incur little to no cost might be the standardization of planning time across elementary buildings and a review of disciplinary procedures for administrative staff. And there are lots of other issues we might bring to the table that do not involve compensation at all. In fact, we fully support the compensation package put forward in the current budget proposal. We think the goal of $60,000 starting salary for teachers and $15 per hour for support staff is reflective of the pride we take in our work. I will be submitting public comment to the Board of Supervisors in support of your proposed budget. Collective bargaining rights for staff typically lead to better working conditions for teachers, and better working conditions for teachers are better learning conditions for students. This is one more step we can take to refine how we do things in Chesterfield, to deliver even greater benefits to our staff and our community. I look forward to our negotiations. And thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of Chesterfield Education Association.
Thank you, Mr. Hamill. May we have Jacob York?
Hello, good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Members of the school board. My name is Jacob York, a science teacher at Midlothian High School. I wanted to come here today to lend my voice in support of adopting the National Education Association Safe Zone Resolution, so our school can continue to be a safe place for all students, especially all vulnerable immigrant population who are living in a time of chaos and uncertainty. As I had spent 4 years teaching in Minneapolis, Minnesota, hearing stories from old colleagues about what has happened to the students and families they serve is heartbreaking. A few key points in the Safe Zone Resolution being that the board declares the district to be a safe zone for its students, meaning that the district is a place for students to learn, to thrive, and to seek assistance, information, and support related to any immigration law enforcement that interferes with their learning experience. That the district shall, within 30 days of this date, of the date of the resolution, create a rapid response team to prepare in the event a minor or child attending a school in the district is deprived of adult care, supervision, or guardianship outside of school due to a federal law enforcement action, such as detention by ICE or cooperating law enforcement. That the school board continues to be a place, or the county continues to be a place, to be the policy of the district not to allow any individual organization to enter a school site if the educational setting would be disrupted by that visit, given the likelihood of substantial disruption imposed by the presence of ICE or state or local law enforcement agencies acting for ICE. Any request by ICE or other agencies to visit a school site should be presented to the superintendent's office to review as to whether access to the site is permitted by law. A judicial warrant is required or any other legal considerations apply. This review should be made expeditiously, but before any immigration law enforcement agent or officer appears at a school site. In its continued commitment to the protection of student privacy, the district shall review its record-keeping policies and practices to ensure that no data is being collected with respect to students' immigration status or place of birth, and cease any such collection as is irrelevant to the educational enterprise and potentially discriminatory. I apologize if we do actually have some of these policies in place. In speaking with colleagues, it seems CC Press is already doing some of these things, but the communication is either absent or unclear. If the staff, and I've spoken to many colleagues, don't understand the supports we're providing that our students and their families, then our students and their families will definitely not understand. I already see the effects of that and what this uncertainty and confusion has brought as students I have regularly seen throughout the school year and have interactions with daily have slowly been weighed down by the stress and or no longer coming to school, a place where they have been very successful in terms of academic and personal growth and were bright spots in our community. A concise flowchart for what to do in an immigration emergency stress situation is needed so staff can do their jobs effectively. It should also make preparations for what to do if federal or ICE agents do not follow our protocols as seen in practice at some of the schools in Minneapolis. Thank you for the time and space to share my needs as a teacher in accounting. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. York. May we have Tawana Gray? Jared Ingberg? Wendy Little? him to.
My name is Wendy Little. My son is Aaron Little. This is a yearbook from where I graduated J.R. Tucker High School 40 years ago in 1986. My son Aaron is supposed to graduate 40 years later. You know, there's some great people in this yearbook. There's myself, a whole lot of other fantastic teachers that you have here in Chesterfield County, some of them multi-generational, some of them family of my own. Yet Aaron Little still has no education. I want a state complaint and an appeal from 2023 because Chesterfield County Public Schools could not figure out how to take a kid out of a private day school that was just way undereducating him and just simply allow him to repeat 8th grade in Swift Creek Middle School, in your school, and to move forward. You have never complied. And for 2 years, I had to deal with him being the go-between, and then he had a meeting with me to send me off and hand me off to his replacement. What are you doing? And this dirtbag over here had your third-party and fourth-party attorneys sue me because I want a state complaint with compensatory education and the appeal, sue me underground by my initials, and they sued me on the wrong freaking dispute resolution issue. Dirtbags. A totally underground lawsuit because I won something and my son still has no education. So I have an announcement to make. You know, my son got HB 1089 done. Didn't work for him at the moment, but it changed state law. It changed special education. You know, this dirtbag lawsuit you got going on, it's completely underground. Y'all are costing the state taxpayers $250,000. That's all y'all spent on Aaron Little. Attorney fees. The last 4 years. That's a little problematic because these are non-delegable duties, and these guys are billing this as if it's a due process case. No, it's circuit court. That's a little bit problematic with law billing. Ultra vires, underground, void ab initio lawsuit. I've learned a lot more than special education law. So Glenn Sturdivant sent in a request to the OAG, which Mieres couldn't answer because he's in the dirty lawsuit contracts. But Jay Jones did. And I don't want to be somebody to make him mad. So Glenn Sturdivant sent in a request for an official OAG opinion. So we have an historic OAG opinion regarding VDOE's responsibilities and yours. When somebody wins a state complaint for compensatory education and the appeal, you comply. You make up, you give them the tutoring, you give them the attendance intervention, you get them on their way, and you give them extra support to do something. You don't just do nothing. You don't do that. You knew better. You knew better. So, in an historic OAG, very rare, special education opinion, I have 2 sentences to read to you. Virginia law expressly authorizes the Board of Education to withhold all special education funds, state and federal, from a school division that fails to establish and maintain programs of FAPE that comply with state regulations. The superintendent shall issue a decision in writing stating that state and federal funds for the education of eligible children with disabilities shall not be made available to that LEA until it complies with the state and federal laws and regulations. You're going to call me tomorrow and we're going to fix this and Aaron's going to have his graduation. Do you understand me?
Thank you, Ms.
We're done
Little.
with this shit.
Thank you, Ms. Little. Your time's expired.
How dare you let this go on for all these years?
Thank you, Ms. Little.
Micah Hadley.
Thank you for having me tonight. My name is Micah Hadley. I teach English as a second, sometimes third, fourth, fifth language at Midlothian High School. We actually overlapped for a little bit of time. And I just come to you tonight in this time of turmoil in regards to immigration enforcement. I'm deeply concerned about our students, our families, and staff. Following the January 21st, 2025 announcement by the Department of Homeland Security, authorizing ICE, or Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to extend its enforcement activities into schools and other formerly protected areas. I'm really grateful for the school board quickly, like 7 days later, issuing guidance on our role as educators. I appreciate that the district has emphasized that our primary responsibility is to educate and support all students regardless of their immigration status or background. And also that the district website reaffirms a commitment to the safety and peace of mind of all students, staff, and community members as we endeavor to educate all students regardless of immigration status. To that end, the county has stated that, quote, ICE or law enforcement seeking access to schools must provide legal justification and await CCPS approval to enter. Now, if I have learned anything from the spirited feedback that high schoolers can readily dole out completely free of charge, it is that our words must be substantive and they must represent consistent action. As my colleague, Mr. York said, our staff, students, and families, as far as we know, have not yet received the substantive communication of consistent action that ensures the very safety and peace of mind to which CCPS has maintained that it is committed. When CCPS states ICE or law enforcement seeking access to schools must provide legal justification and await CCPS approval to enter, what counts as legal justification? Who exactly is able to give CCPS approval? And what locations could be entered? Parking lots, bus stops, field trip sites? To provide much needed clarity, I request that the school board adopt the National Education Association's Safe Zone Resolution, as well as provide staff a clear flow chart of what to do in an immigration emergency. We need clear advanced communication that will allow us to effectively do our jobs, just as with any stress situation. As an educator, I do not feel clear on our procedures, the parameters of our duties, nor the concrete protections in place for students. I have heard this sentiment echoed repeatedly by colleagues throughout the county. Some questions and comments that I've heard include, if something happens to a family outside of school, what is the plan for follow-up? At what point would protecting or defending students, in line with that commitment to safety, be viewed by the school board as taking a political stance or not remaining neutral? One teacher requested that the school board make a statement that there is no evidence of teachers reporting students to DHS or ICE, since that would be a violation of FERPA. Many simply reiterated that they are completely unaware of any process regarding immigration enforcement activities at schools. Furthermore, we educators have been directed to refrain from engaging in political discussions in our workplace. At the same time, when students planned walkouts in solidarity with those affected by ICE, staff were advised to remain neutral, remind students of other non-disruptive avenues. And I asked this board for guidance as to what established civic processes you might recommend for students in non-disruptive avenues. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley. Madam Chair, that concludes this evening's public comment.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, we have this evening's superintendent's report from Dr. Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have two items this evening. First, for tonight's meaningful moments, I want to share with you a great highlight recently covered in the news to an extent. If you watched the Super Bowl this year, you saw Morgan Moses on the field playing for the New England Patriots. Morgan is an alumnus of Henning Elementary, Manchester Middle, and Meadowbrook High School class of 2009. In this video, we see reflections from his former high school coaches and a teammate who now leads Meadowbrook football as they share memories of Morgan's early days and celebrating his journey and success beginning here in Chesterfield County.
Yeah,
He was a great player, and he kept getting better. That was the biggest thing about Mo. And of course, the size helped. But he was a very good athlete and had good feet. Matter of fact, we brought him up his freshman year and towards the playoffs and put him at tight end, actually. And so, but he was a great player. And you didn't want to make him mad. He was pretty easy going, but you didn't want to make him mad.
I first encountered Mo, I call him the gentle giant. He was big. So one of the things I noticed especially in high school, that he just towered over everyone. Monday through Thursday practice, just normal practice, but Friday night, he could turn it on. And we were gonna run the ball behind him. So at that point, he had something special. 6'7", 6'8", you can't coach that. That's just natural ability. 6'7", 300 pounds, high school kid, run the ball behind him. So you knew you had something special. And you knew he was gonna go, go far.
I mean, when he stepped foot on campus, everybody knew who he was. He was probably one of the biggest kids in the state of Virginia at 12 years old. I was the kicker and punter here. We won a lot of ball games under Coach Bowles, and seeing his size and the way that he impacted the game, and like Coach Bowles said, his freshman year we played him at tight end, and he's sneaky, athletic. I think he. That's one thing that a lot of people don't see when you see a guy that size. But no, he's running up and down. Just a phenomenal young man. I was a senior. He was a freshman coming in, and he had the respect just because of how hard he worked as a youngin'. So he got that respect from the older guys real quick, and that's how he got to where he's at today. It's huge. A lot of kids in this area don't have that opportunity, and seeing the adverse situations that Mo had to go through to get to where he's at, it gives some of these kids hope that they can be there as well. I tell my kids all the time, like, there's more to life than Cogbill Road, but Cogbill Road can set you up for life. So seeing him have his struggles academically, he can relate to these kids. Going home, it's not always easy. You don't know when your next meal's coming, or your next pair of cleats are coming, or whatever the case might be. But if you work hard, people will be on your side. And just using that motivation to motivate my kids now. There's none of these kids nowadays, they don't know what we did in the early 2000s as a program. Half of them weren't even alive at that point. They weren't born. So, getting to speak on it, and then them getting to see, Mo be on playing on Sundays, how he turned his career around and really made something of him is just a great journey for our kids to follow. And he doesn't know it, but our kids look up to him as well, and they want to be him. We got a couple of his jerseys around here. I'd love to get him back involved to come speak to the guys. And he's a little busy right now, but being through his journey, and I've talked to him quite a few times, and just wishing him luck, and putting Meadowbrook back on the map, and being a former alumni of the building. It's huge for our community, and hopefully Sunday he brings back a dub.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. Board members, is there any discussion? Mr. Pronto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We recognize Morgan Moses as a Bravo honoree this year. And he was not able to be there, obviously, because of his football schedule, but his family represented him well. And the thing that stood out to me the most about Morgan was how he responded to life throwing some curveballs his way. You heard his former colleague there say, 6'7", 6'8", 300 pounds, that's talent. You can't coach that, and you can't. But it doesn't get you as far as you can go. There's other things that have to happen, and he learned that. And so through his perseverance, he was able to, play for the University of Virginia, and then of course he went on to the NFL. And if through the adversity, if he had just quit and said, I'm done, we wouldn't know the Morgan Moses that is described in this video. And I think that's very telling. not only of him, but those around him that recognize that. So I greatly appreciate highlighting him, and it was a no-brainer as to why he was a Bravo award recipient this year. And so they didn't bring back the W, unfortunately. However, watching him play and knowing that that is a product of Chesterfield County Public Schools, even though it's not my district, I had a lot of pride, watching him because it was us, so to speak. So appreciate you highlighting him. Thank you.
Ms. Chatters.
I was just going to say, that's the first time I cheered for the Patriots, okay? So if y'all know, I'm a New York Giants fan, and it hurt my heart all the way, but I said, okay, Monarchs, once a Monarch, always a Monarch. So I cheered for him, and you're right, it was a point of pride. So that'll be the only time, as long as he's there, that I'll be cheering for the Patriots. Thank you for the video, Dr. Murray.
Well, and I also, something not highlighted in that video, and I appreciate y'all's comments as well. Morgan has done tremendous work through his foundation that he established to help kids that are growing up in a situation similar to the one that he grew up in, and paving new pathways forward and illuminating those pathways through his foundation. So I'm proud we could celebrate him. Madam Chair, our next presentation is an update on our 2026 legislative program from Sean Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair, board members. Opportunity to give you kind of a brief update on the legislative session. As you're aware, the legislative session is scheduled to adjourn this Saturday. They still have a lot of large pieces of legislation still to kind of reconcile. As you think about sort of our process we've gone through, really it's a year-round process, but the heart of that obviously was our conversation with the legislative delegation back in December, the school board adopting your legislative program, which really has been kind of the guiding force as we look at legislation to determine where we see issues we can support, issues where we can advocate for changes. After the General Assembly hopefully adjourns on Saturday, the governor then will have the opportunity to review legislation over the next 30 days to decide whether she would like to sign the bills, amend them, or veto those bills. They'll have the veto session, and then certainly from there, our work will focus on putting in place different practices, procedures, and policy changes effective come July 1, should they be in place for this July. A couple of highlights as you think about what's still remaining, some significant pieces, obviously. First, on the budget side, as you recall, House Bill 29, which is currently the current fiscal year, passed and was signed by the governor. One of the changes we saw with that, it's effective immediately, is funding for the bonus change from a 2% budget, 2% bonus to a $1,500 bonus. As a school division, obviously we're waiting for the larger budget process to reconcile itself before we make certain decisions with that. The current budget process, obviously now with regards to the upcoming fiscal years, remains in the balance for negotiations in the House and Senate. As I updated you a couple weeks ago, as was referenced in public comment, there's still a significant divide in the revenue sources the Senate's looking at and the House is looking at. Obviously, those revenue sources have impacts on education, both positive and some with some troubles along the way. So we're looking for that conference report to come out. It's scheduled to come out on Thursday by the parliamentary procedures, should they adjourn on time. We'll keep the board updated along the way. A couple of other highlights, still some remaining work to be done with regards to assessments. The General Assembly has passed through legislation, laws looking to kind of redo the school performance and support framework that's been put in place by the previous administration and Department of Education. Still looking for some reconciliation with regards to testing, mainly with regards to tying the SOL scores to grades. And so the General Assembly still is reconciling that piece. There was a legislation that has been passed going to the governor that's with regards to cell phone policy, which we put in place in our school division. There's been a little bit of confusion with the legislation that went forward. Essentially what it's doing is just reestablishing the fact that off and away policy holds true during lunch, also during bell changes in the school day. That's something we already have in place, but that's something that they have passed. Collective bargaining, as was referenced in public comment, continues to need to be reconciled from the House and Senate. They also have some budget pieces that are tied up in that as well. From the election front, the General Assembly has passed, as you're aware, voting that will take place on April 21st. That's with regard to congressional redistricting. They've also then moved the traditional June primary to August 4. There's been some legislation passed with dealing with notifications. You'll recall year over year, the governor had been vetoing certain legislation, namely some notifications that we were required to put in place when it comes to safe storage of prescription drugs and firearms in the household. There's also some things there that we'd be required to notify families essentially at the beginning of the school year. The governor still has to take action, but it's anticipated that she would sign that. Still reconciling information with regards to paid sick leave and paid family and medical leave. The other piece, as you recall, we've discussed the allocation of sales taxes for school construction. The House and Senate have differing perspectives right now. It's anticipated they will pass the legislation. They're hung up right now with regard to whether or not you can use that revenue source for existing projects. The Senate has said that their perspective is not for existing projects. The House has said they're okay with that. I'm incredibly paraphrasing the status of the legislation. From here, obviously, we'll continue to advocate. I've provided to the board and obviously our senior administration a tracking mechanism for all the legislation that's been out there. That's been helpful, I think, for us collectively to kind of narrow down legislation that certainly has impacts on our school division. We've worked to advocate and facilitate advocacy on behalf of our school division and our employees to hopefully make an impact. We'll have additional updates, obviously, along the way. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Board members, is there any discussion? Mr. Pronto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Smith, thank you so much. I don't have any questions. I just want to thank you and your team. This is a lot. And I don't know if folks understand the amount of time that you put into this and then the communication that you give to this board, broken down by spreadsheet, by tab, by topic. It is very easy to follow, which I greatly appreciate, so we can find things quickly without having to fumble through. But if it wasn't for your efforts, that would not it would not be easy to understand or follow necessarily everything that's going on. So the time that you're spending up in Richmond and then coming back here and doing everything else a part of your purview, I greatly appreciate, especially this time of year, the amount of work that you put in. So thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Next, we have items for board review. Madam Clerk, would you please read the items for this evening?
Madam Chair, tonight's agenda includes the following items for board review. Number 1, Magisterial District Improvement Funds, FY 2026. Number 2, Budget Change Request Summary across categories, January 2026. Board Committee Reports is number 3. Number 4, Pre-K Update, January 2026. Number 5, FY 2026, October Expenditures versus Appropriations. Number 6, FY 2026, November Expenditures versus Appropriations. Number 7, FY 2026, December Expenditures versus Appropriations. And number 8, Memo number 033-26, Awareness of Technical Edits to the 2026-27 Program of Studies.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next, we have this evening's superintendent's remarks. Dr. Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. During the month of March, we celebrate Women's History Month, but we also choose to celebrate those paving the way now and leading. And so in particular, I just want to celebrate you, Ms. Coker, and you, Ms. Hudgens, and you, Dr. Darby, and you, Ms. Chatters, but also on my side of the house, my partner in crime, the Deputy Superintendent Lisa High, and then on our senior leadership at the cabinet level, Dr. Huff, our Chief of Human Resources, Dr. Pope, our Chief Academic Officer, and Dr. Booth, our Chief of Schools. Remarkable women in leadership is very important. I have a daughter, and it is important for me for her to see the spaces she can occupy if she chooses to as she ventures off onto the world of her own later on. Some highlights since we last met, obviously not an exhaustive list, but I want to kick off with what a great start to this evening. And I just want to thank Jimmy and Lisa for all of their deep and impactful work. It truly shines through when you see what our kids are capable of by way of the arts, which we know is so engaging. If you haven't had a chance to, the mini art museum that Jimmy mentioned that will remain on display, and we had a tiny ribbon cutting with very tiny scissors at Chesterfield Town Center. It is worth a visit. Very impressive work, and so I just want to thank them for that. And then Lisa was able to invite performers from James River and Manchester High School, I believe. As well, last week we were able to celebrate with the Manchester Middle School cheerleaders as we took a trip to the Capitol. They were recognized on both the floors of the House and the Senate for their efforts of building something much more equitable, but also having the courage to remain and put in when winning didn't seem possible a few years ago, when funds didn't seem to be there as they might be in other schools, and they found a way and they were celebrated for it. It was a powerful experience. Craig Reed from Meadowbrook was mentioned earlier, but we got to celebrate him for being this year's breakfast champion. So we want to thank him for all that he and his wonderful team are doing at Meadowbrook. And then we were able to head over to Thomasdale and celebrate our first school social worker of the year, Miss Pope, who's been doing the work for several decades and doing it remarkably well. So we thank her. We had our Winter All County Awards, I think at the beginning of last week, and we'll have our last two installments here coming up next month. And then Thursday, Steve from afar, me from courtside, will be cheering on the Manchester Lady Lancers as they are headed back to the state championship basketball game, and we'll all be Lancers on that day. I'm expecting that. You talked about Morgan and being a Patriots fan, so we're going to need you to be a Lancer fan, Ms. Cheddars. And then a lot of our staff were out in classrooms reading across America, and that was such a joy to be anywhere from a pre-K to a fifth grade classroom. But it's really the Q&A that ensues after you read the book. I don't think that they're much interested, except for you finishing that book, because they've been promised that they can ask the superintendent any question, and I think we really need to apply some stronger guardrails there. Tomorrow, Mr. Meiser and I will once more, for the umpteenth time, present the budget, this time to the Board of Supervisors at 2 o'clock. We're excited about that. There's been much positive momentum regarding this year's budget. Ms. Hudgens referenced earlier being in a very different place this year than last, and people are noticing. So I'm glad that we can fix some big long-term problems this year and set us up for continued success in the next fiscal year to come. There will be a message going out later this week regarding the special election day, which is on April 21st. This will impact many more schools than impacted our schools on January, I believe, 6th earlier this year. We are expecting a much larger turnout. As such, it would not be, in my opinion, wise to send kids and John and Jane Doe Public to the same campus. Traffic patterns, access to the building, et cetera. So we will be sending out what that's going to look like, but I want to be very clear. The VDOE has said to school divisions that they will not approve any remote learning as a catchment for a school day proper. If we choose to do any type of remote work, it will not be appreciated by way of exchange for school hours, if that makes sense. So I wanted to be upfront about that. And then I want to thank our speakers this evening. I do want to say that regarding the comments pertaining to ICE, we do have a very robust web presence on our website about that topic specifically. As well, we did send out a message not only last year when this was top of mind, but again earlier this calendar year, I think about a month and a half ago. And our school administrators have received training on how to engage and what is legally compliant. And then lastly, I want to celebrate our SPED leadership. They're doing a great job. They're working very hard to gap fill for our kids, and because of that, we have not lost a single dollar. And I have nothing further, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. Next, we have announcements, communications, and school board comments. Ms. Chatters.
Yes, so thank you, Elke. First, I wanted to acknowledge that we do have some budget community meeting dates that I wanted to share. So Facebook Live is Thursday, March 19th, and these are all for the Board of Supervisors. So if you want to hear or speak to the Board of Supervisors, let them know how you feel about the proposed budget. This is your opportunity to do so. Midlothian is on March 12th at the Midlothian Library. March 16th is Dale District at the Beulah Rec Center. March 17th and 24th, 2 Tuesdays, from Matoaka, once at Cosby High School, and the following week it's at Matoaka Elementary. Clover Hill is March 18th at LaPrade Library, and Bermuda is March 23rd at the Chester Library. So please take an opportunity to show up to any meeting you can make to let them know if you support the proposed budget that we submitted, because they need to hear from you as well. And then we already talked about Dr. Reed and celebrating him for being a Breakfast Champion Award. That is our Monarch soldier right there in the armor. So he is part of the school. If you haven't had a chance to go play with him, you should. It was a fun time. And then, yes, we did go down to the Lancers, Mr. Peranto, but there's still a bright spot. We had 4 young ladies make the all-region team, and I wanted to shout them out. We had 2 make all first team, 1 make all second team, and then honorable mention for Ms. Brielle Comer. And then on top of that, they selected Coach Evans to be the 804 South girls coach for the All-Star game. So this is still a good thing. As we cheer on the Lancers later on, just wanted to shout out the girls basketball team for their accomplishments and continuing to do the hard work. And then lastly, Read Across America. I got a chance to read to a kindergarten class, and you are right, they had questions. But the book I read was called Superheroes by Kamala Harris, and in there it has questions, right? So we were talking about name the superhero that helps you, name the superhero that you can talk to, and they love Miss Clark. So Miss Clark, shout out to Miss Clark, because the answers they gave, always Miss Clark and Pop Pop. Okay, so Pop Pop knows everything, and Miss Clark is like a close second. So I had a good time reading to the kids, and I enjoyed it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Pronto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Get comfortable, please. Matoaka High School was announced as the host of the 2026 VHSL Ken Tilley Student Leaders Conference. Student leaders are presenting at the VHSL March membership meeting on Friday, March 13th. We already know about the grand champion show choir that we heard here from Matoaka. They also won Best Female Vocalist and Best Band, Tempo Tantrum. Lynn Jones earned second place in the Super Regionals for speech and is headed to the States on March 28th, so congrats and good luck. Kylie Krotz earned third place at state in the 100 fly and 100 back. And a record 14 students auditioned and were selected into the VBODA All-District Band. 3 of those students were selected to audition for the All-State Band. So we're waiting to hear back about their success moving forward. And then Bailey Myers auditioned and made all-state choir, and Bailey was one of the performers here tonight. And especially close to my heart and to the Matoaka family, the Medford basketball team has 7 wins and 1 loss with 2 games to go in the season before the finals. So hopefully they will bring back yet another championship to represent the Warriors of Matoaka. Moving on to Cosby, our academic team won the Region 6A championship and finished 4th in the state. Allie Vernon, you might have heard that name, and I'll tell you why, won the state championship in the 100 freestyle as it was her 3rd individual state championship. The girls and swim dive team finished 8th in the state. The girls won their 6th straight region championship, and the boys won the region swim and dive championship as well. Rhapsody is the treble show choir, won grand championships at both the Hanover Mechanicsville Festival of Choirs and the Thomasdale Commonwealth Choral Invitational. And then the Spotlight on the Mixed Show Choir won grand championship at both the Hanover Mechanicsville Festival of Choirs and also at the Thomasdale Commonwealth Choral Invitational. And then finally, Manchester. Congrats to our boys basketball team, Tyler Gibson, Kamari Crawford, first team, Devin Butler, second team, and they are the Region A regular season and tournament champions. And then last but not least, our girls. Madison Smith, first team and Region 6A Player of the Year. Kylie Edwards, first team. Finley Weaver, second team, and they are the Region 6A regular season and tournament champions, and they play for the state title coming up. And also, shout out to Mr. Rashid Wright, who is their coach, who was named the Region 6A Coach of the Year. So a lot of great things going on in the Matoaka District with our students around the high schools. And with that, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, I read at Watkins Elementary, and it was very fun. I really do truly appreciate them inviting me. I was able to read to 2 of my neighbors. So Dr. Murray also read to the same school, and they are so cute. It is. I had a little kindergarten class and then the 5th grade class, and they're so different but so cute. It was such a treat. I do miss interacting with the kids, so anytime I'm able to get into the classroom, it makes my heart very happy. So thank you, Ms. Chatters, for talking about the Board of Supervisors listening sessions for, or I guess, town halls for the budget, Board of Supervisors budget. Midlothian, I believe it got moved. It's Thursday, the 12th at 6:30, but now it's at AM Davis. I believe I saw that, and it's actually on my calendar, so I think that's correct. And that is all I have. Anybody else? Okay. So the school board will hold a work session in the county public meeting room at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, April 14th, 2026, followed by a business meeting at 6:30 p.m. If there is no further business, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Madam Clerk, would you please call a roll on the motion?
Ann Cooker.
Aye.
Jennifer Darby.
Aye.
Dominique Chatters.
Aye.
Stephen Pronto.
Aye.
Lisa Hudgens.
Aye. The motion carries. The March 10th, 2026 school board business meeting is adjourned.